Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hello, how are you? I'm Casey Durango of Go Keto with Casey, where I talk about how I lost 97.4 pounds after starting the ketogenic protocol, how you may be able to lose weight, improve your health, and regain control of your life like I did. Thank you for allowing me to be part of your Saturday, if you are indeed viewing this right now. And let's jump in, shall we? So, the wolf is always at the door. This is an oft-repeated phrase. It's been used a lot in my Patreon private support group with patrons. It just came up again in a patron-only live stream. And actually, today's topic, a reminder of this, came from a patron who said, maybe your topic on Saturday can be about the wolf at the door, because I was very pleased with myself when we were having this conversation about the wolf is always at the door. And I said, well, then you know what we need to do? We need to set some wolf traps outside the door. And I just was tickled with myself. So anyway, that's the topic du jour. So first of all, let me just, for those of you who are new, I tend to just start talking, and about halfway through, I'll give a nod to some supporters, and then I turn my attention to all the comments of you lovely people. But I always start off by saying how I have practiced the ketogenic protocol for 10 years now. I learned it this way, and I've practiced it ever since I started. Keep your carbohydrate intake to 20 grams or fewer a day. Total carbs, not net carbs. Net carbs just means more carbs. If it's not on page 4, link below, don't eat it, but you don't even need a food list. Eat fatty sources of protein, limited amounts of non-starchy vegetables and leafy greens, and limited amounts of full-fat dairy. The last two, you don't have to eat at all. If you don't want to eat any vegetables, don't. Don't eat if you're not hungry. That's a big challenge. And then another big challenge, stop eating when you've had enough. And then I've added, be patient and persevere. So that's it. Nothing more complicated than that. No measuring of lots of different things, and no having to pay attention to the time of day or whatever. But all that said, while the protocol is simple, it's not always easy. So what do I mean by that? Well, you know what I mean. It's simple. It's straightforward. Eat fatty sources of protein and don't eat if you're not hungry. But there are pressures. There are outside pressures. There are pressures we put on ourselves. There are times when we throw in the towel because we feel like things aren't changing rapidly enough. You know, I had one of my snippets that I did for the patrons in the morning, I do 20 a month, was chronic improvement. You know, we've gotten used to chronic worsening, chronic diseases, type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, inflammation, things that come over time. And sometimes they creep up slowly that we fail to recognize it. But we don't want to stand for chronic improvement, which means slowly over time. We want what we want when we want now. That's one of the wolves. Wolves? That's one of those creatures. Es un lobo. That's one of the things that are like, and when I say wolves at the door, there's, influences that want to get in and gobble us up and keep us from doing what we know we should be doing. So let's not get bogged down in how quickly something is happening. Let's just say, okay, I've been chronically going downhill for 25 years. I'm going to give myself some grace and allow myself to chronically improve. I've been asked, how long did it take to lose the 97.4 pounds? It took 3 years, every bit of 3 years. And I was thrilled with that. Didn't bother me in the least. The first year I lost 47 pounds. And I had plenty to lose, obviously. I'm 5'1". I had plenty to lose. That was less than a pound a month on average. Less than a pound a week on average. And I was okay with that because I was chronically improving. Frankly, I continue to chronically improve on different aspects of my life. Another wolf at the door. Other people's opinions. That's a big one. Now, if we could just keep them outside the door and close all the windows and pull the shades and put on our, wireless earphones and not have to listen to them, that'd be nice. But it's not always possible. We are social creatures. Many of us have families. Many of us have a circle of friends. Many of us have coworkers. And it can be that every single one of those people has an opinion about what we should be doing. No one said boo to me 100 pounds ago about my health. And really, nobody says anything to me now other than I do get comments from people who don't know how much or how little I eat, that I'm not eating enough. I don't know how they know that or think they know that. But no, my friends and family, no one's concerned about my health. They're happy that I am healthy. But some people, you lose enough weight. They're, are you sick? You look kind of sick. Now, okay, did you not think I looked sick when I was having trouble getting up off the sofa because I weighed so much, or all my joints hurt? You weren't worried about me then. You were just offering me a second slice of cake. That's a wolf at the door, man. Other people's opinions. Sometimes there are people who actually are bringing us food to our door. And they think they're being nice under the idea that food is love. But as we know, food is not love. Love is love. Food is not sport. Shouldn't be entertainment. It's not our best friend. It's not even a frenemy. Food is supposed to be nutrition. That's it. If hunger's not the problem, food is not the answer. But what do we do about all these things? Well, we can just say, well, it's too hard. There are too many pressures, too many wolves. I can't stand up against them. That is one course of action some people take, or maybe it's a course of inaction some people take. And then they move on to the next attempt, the next weight loss or health improvement thing, or the next video channel that's touting eat tart cherries dipped in seaweed, and that'll do something. Okay, kind of, serial dieters. Or we can set some wolf traps. Set the wolf trap. We have to know ourselves. I am not someone who was overly influenced when I started doing this in my circle of friends, and they were, looking, wow, what are you doing? But they still wanted me to have some cake on my birthday if they were treating me. And I said, no, thank you. I don't have a problem with that. Not even pushing back, just resisting the influence of other people really was never a problem for me. I'm kind of a contrarian, and I can be snappish. The wolf that would be at my door is that I really loved eating food. And as I got bigger and felt worse about myself and felt physically worse, and I did make efforts. You can go to my blog, link below, see photographs of me from the summer of the triathlons, along with other photographs, not from my heaviest weight, but you can see that I tried to move more, eat less. I did, was it 4 triathlons, sprint level triathlons, mind you, in one 6-month period or 5-month period or something like that. And I tried, and I was hungry and sore all the time and lost like 11 pounds in total. So I did try, but I really liked food, and I would try juicing, and then I would do this. I was just like I was a serial dieter. I didn't try Weight Watchers because I was not going to get on a scale in front of a room full of people. But I did just about everything else, or tried just about everything else. So that the wolf at my door was really wanting to eat the food. And at some point, I had given up on losing weight. I didn't want to take insulin for type 2 diabetes. I Googled how to not take insulin for type 2 diabetes because I knew that was coming up at my next doctor's appointment. I came across the white coat video of Dr. Eric Westman of of Duke University, who I was never his patient, but through one thing and another, we became pals, and I'm very grateful for that. And the white coat video was just keep your carbs 20 grams or fewer a day, total not net. It's not on page 4, link below. Don't eat it. Don't eat if you're not hungry. And so I just did that. So the wolf at my door was, I guess maybe the wolf at my door became, I don't want to take insulin for diabetes. And that was trying to get in. And so I set a trap for it and I laid off the carbs. And my blood sugar is totally perfect now. It is on average. I take it, my blood sugar, usually once a week over the last year and a half or so, just because I'm doing an experiment. But all the time I've been doing this since I started, my average blood glucose reading is 72. And I've never been out of ketosis that I know of. I wouldn't think I was. And my average blood ketones are 2.7, I think. So the wolf trap that I put out was not for laying off the carbs. It was for the wolf. I just thought of that. So maybe that's what we need to do. Maybe the wolf trap needs to be, the metaphor is we need to stop that thing which is going to keep us from getting where we want to be. If that's other people and we have to just firmly but politely say, no, thank you. I give people 3 attempts to say, and I say, no, thank you. No, really, no. No, I'm not going to eat that. Actually, I had to do that once. It was a tertiary relationship. Never got any closer. But, we have to learn to stand up to people. We have to learn to not believe the crud. If it says keto on the label, it is not. It is not. I was in an airport traveling back a couple of months ago. Everything was shut down. It was very late when I got into the airport and had to wait for the next flight out. So they have these little kiosks where you can, pick up and put the food on a mat and it charges you. Well, there was one, the product name was Core Keto. And it was these little bars. Well, let me tell you what. Chocolate chip cookie dough bar? No way. So it touted its grams of protein on the front, these little bar. Then you look on the back, it was 20 grams of carbohydrate. They had the nerve to call themselves Core Keto. Nope. So if that's a wolf, just accept the fact. There are no special baked fake goods that you can get that will help you with this. It will not help. It'll be counterproductive. Another wolf at the door. But it's the holidays. Or I use food to deal with stress. No, we use food to not deal with stress. We use food to distract ourselves. We don't cope with food. We avoid coping with food. That's a wolf. So identify your wolf because they will always be there. I have wolves at my door. Yes, I do. Not for food so much, although almost every day I turn to my husband. We'll see a commercial. I say, honey, let's order some bagels. We're never going to do that. But, if the fairy carb mother came and tapped me on the head and said, you can eat whatever you want, whenever you want it, and your blood sugar will stay great, and you won't be out of ketosis, and you won't feel bad, and you won't put on weight, I would be eating it, but I can't. So I don't. My wolves are different things. We're always in a state of flux, aren't we, if we're lucky? So I have to deal with other things, and I have to figure out what that wolf is. And then I have to figure out the appropriate trap. So one thing I'm not going to put out is wolf bait. I'm not trying to come up with excuses for things, and that's what we should not do. Some of us look for excuses why we can't do something. Oh, well, I'm postmenopausal. This won't work. Well, postmenopausal. I had a hysterectomy. 35 years ago. Oh, I've had cancer. I'm short. All sorts of things. So maybe that's the wolf, is the excuses we try to use. We have to identify that, a little self-reflection. And then having a little meeting with ourselves about it. And just know it doesn't have to happen fast. It doesn't have to be worthy of being on the front of a magazine. It just has to get better. We just have to get better. Have chronic improvement. And the wolf will be at the door. Doesn't mean you need to let it in. Stand firm and set out those traps. Okay. I will repeat that you do not need to buy one thing to be 100% successful at the ketogenic protocol. Not one thing, but I will happily sell you a green book with a quote in it. Here's one where those wolves are at the door. Oh, messed it up. You can get this at go to my blog and a link at Amazon. Many of life's failures are people who did not realize how close they were to success when they gave up. Thomas Edison. So, green book, you can see it at link my blog. And you can get a PDF version, just print out the pages you want. Links at my blog. And mugs and T-shirts and caps and items we use around here. I think I linked to my Lodge cast iron and the air fryer. Link below. So, and I have a private support group at patreon.com. You can get a 7-day free trial if you wish. But entry the $5 pledge, you get 20 pre-recorded video snippets every weekday morning from me. And sometimes I am a sight, let me tell you. Going up from there, a handful of patron-only live streams on Crowdcast, going up from there, one-on-one with me every month. Thank you very much. Hashtag Casey's Pink Drink. Tumbler full of ice, diet tonic water, splash of diet cranberry, squeeze of lime. And if you enjoy my channel, if you'd like to help it, subscribe, thumbs up, and hit the notification bell icon if you'd like to know when I put out more content. All righty, that having been said, let's see what you all have to say. And I just jump in. So I start where I said, Stuart and Jennifer, hello, Casey and everyone, and DJ Cloutier, hello from British Columbia. I've been using your chronic weight lose. I take 1/10 of a pound as a win. Absolutely. I count every 1/10 of a pound. Judy Porterfield, Stuart and Jennifer. Hey. Hi, Judy. Some of these are patrons who are here, so they kind of know each other. Andy R. Yep. My wolf, pre-diabetic. Judy Dullage. It all comes back to I'm stronger than a cookie. As a matter of fact, I think I linked to a mug below this video. I'm stronger than a cookie. Food is not the boss of me. Judy Porterfield, the wolf at my door is exactly the same, Casey. Oh, I like the wolf emoji. Barbara Fenton, howdy from cold and sunny Northeast Pennsylvania. And Cowfish Pro, good morning from cold again, Chicago, back to the 50s tomorrow. And this is Teresa Ulrich, T-U, Teresa U, Teresa Ulrich, Dr. Teresa Ulrich. So good to see you. She's a patron. She gives me many good snippet topic suggestions. Cheryl Sullivan, one of the wolves at my door. When my food didn't taste the best, I deserve more food. Yikes. Yeah, food is tough. It's tough, guys. The things we tell ourselves or things we were told, what our parents, we're now like in third generation of people who really don't have a good grasp on how much food we need or what is actually good for us or bad for us. Kathy Collins, set a wolf trap at the door. Not going to let him in. He's not invited. Stronger than that danged wolf. Well, that's good. And what we say to ourselves matters. One of the wolves is bad self-talk. Oh, I can never resist. I'm powerless against death by chocolate, which is a dessert. No, we're not powerless. We can resist it. I used to tell myself that I couldn't see going the rest of my life without eating tortilla chips. This was before January 8th, 2014, when I saw the white coat video. I knew low carb worked for me since 1977. But I told myself and did the same things. Many of us do. I said, I can't, I can't go the rest of my life without eating tortilla chips. That's crazy. So when you tell yourself you can't do something, pretty much you won't do it. So self-talk, we have to change that. And we are stronger than a cookie or tortilla chips. Colleen Sproul, good morning from Alabama this morning. And Andy R, a wolf. I don't feel good today. Food will make me feel better. Comfort me. Yes, that is a big wolf. Self-comfort through food. How's that work for us? And if hunger's not the problem, food is not the answer. Have a fight with your lovely mate, food won't fix it. You have an ornery boss, food won't fix that. Water heater started leaking the day before Thanksgiving, which happened to us. Food wouldn't have fixed it, a plumber did. So we need to, that's a very good one. Jill's mommy. Hello, Jill. Hello. Colleen Sproul, you're so right about poor food habits based on really incorrect information. Yep. And we can, we can rail against the world that we were given incorrect information, or we can just get over ourselves and say, well, that was incorrect information. I know the correct information now, and I will put it to good use. Cassandra Bowl, your show is one of the biggest, strongest plank in my door. Aren't you kind? Judy Porterfield, I think this last Christmas season, the wolf was howling more because I stayed on plan. Foods. And I think you've shared in the general public, I know you shared it in Patreon with the group, that the previous holiday season, it was like, I'm just going to have a little bit. What can it hurt? Oops, that's another wolf. I'll just have a little bit. Listen, if I was someone who could, the phrase, and I am an abstainer, not a moderator. I just don't want to fight with my brain about food anymore. Judy Porterfield, missed the comfort foods, but not enough to cave. Yes, that was way worse than fighting the wolf. So that's a good point, Judy. Suffering the consequences, experiencing the effects of the poor food choices, and that those effects lingered, because anyone has done this, it doesn't, it's like Sisyphus pushing the boulder up the mountain. And he has to push the boulder, gets nearly to the top, stumbles and what took him all day to accomplish, getting the boulder to the top of the hill, is undone in about 8 seconds as the boulder goes to the bottom of the hill. And then it's going to take forever to get that boulder back up. It's the same way with food, at least with me. It didn't take much to realize, oh, I've eaten more food than I require. I really don't have a problem with the carbs. We just don't even have them in the house. That's one good trap. Just don't bring this stuff into your home. Just don't. If you have other people who like to eat, let them prepare their food. Children don't need sugar. They might really like it. But no human needs fruit roll-ups or Pop-Tarts or Captain Crunch cereal. I was raised on all this stuff, not fruit roll-ups. They came along later. Captain Crunch cereal, Chips Ahoy cookies, Oreos, absolutely square white bread with no nutritional value, full sugar Coca-Cola, nothing butter, peanut butter sandwich cookie, brownies. We had brownies all the time in the house. And big tins of Charles potato chips. They were delivered to the house. Yeah, I was not raised on health food, but I corrected it. If I can do this, you can do this. Barbara Fenton, I want to see food as fuel and nothing else. Not comfort, not entertainment, not a party for my taste buds. Fuel to live my life, like gas in my car, so I can go. Yes, and not be a broken down heap on the side of the highway, right? We want to be a fuel efficient vehicle, firing on all cylinders, to carry the metaphor further. That's what we want. Food is fuel. Food is not, really, people would say food is comfort. Food was torture for me. I stayed in a nearly constant state of waiting for my next treat that I was going to eat, and then immediately followed by regret and self-loathing. Not to mention the impact it was having on my health and my appearance. I mean, I No, that was not a good look for me. I'm all for body positivity. And those people who are comfortable in their bodies, even if the body is quite large and somebody else says they're too large, I'm for that because the mental anguish of not being happy in your own skin. That was me. I was not happy in my own skin. I'm very smart. I'm clever. I'm quick witted. I have certain gifts. I was not happy with myself at all. And that's really too bad. I wasted a lot of time. Think of all the gifts I could have given to the world if I felt better about myself. Food was torture. Laura K., I really try to remind myself how I feel when I eat properly to how that momentary, quote, comfort food made me feel afterwards, blah. I have recommended to people that, okay, I was doing great, and then the chocolate-covered pretzels. And then they feel terrible that maybe their joints start to hurt again, or they're bloated, or they get acid reflux back, or their migraine returns, or they need their asthma inhaler, or they just feel like crud. I've recommended to take a little selfie video, not for public consumption, password protected. And then when you feel like more chocolate covered pretzels, play that video for yourself. Because we can always delude ourselves. Well, it won't hurt this time. Judy Porterfield writes, exactly, Barbara Fenton. And Linda Bridges writes, thank you for coming every week. Thank you. You don't know how time appropriate that comment is. Judy Porterfield, and also how long it takes to get back to feeling great again, right? Ginny Robison, I need to eat to live instead of living to eat. Amen. Colleen Sproul, food has become less important when I worked on all the ways I used it for reasons other than fuel. Food is omnipresent. There are McDonald's outlets in some hospitals. I'll say that again. There are McDonald's outlets in some hospitals. And I belong to a very good gym. It's associated with my alma mater. And so it's mostly young people that are there. They're the young people who work there. They are exercising, they're swimming, they're sitting in the sauna, and there are times when I'm getting up the stairs, and there's a lot of stairs, faster than the kids around me, and I'm in better shape than they are. I feel for young people because all of their lives it's been like this. All of their lives, the food everywhere. Regret is a tough pill to swallow, writes Judy, and it is. And it's not a very useful state of mind. It's better to, if we learn a lesson from it, okay. But let's just move forward better. Let's just set the wolf traps. Accept that, yeah, we that was then, this is now. Yes, I thought I was doing the right thing. It turned out to be the wrong. Okay, done. From right now, let's make the change. Okay, I am going to wind things down here the next few seconds. I want to thank you all for being here. Barbara Fenton, absolutely, Casey. Thank you for your faithfulness to us. So much appreciated. Never be in doubt of that. Thank you. Yes, I really learned from. Well, thank you. Thank you to those with the hearts that are popping up. I can see them out of my peripheral vision. And thank you for those who are just so kind. And stick with it. And remember, if I can do this, you can do this. I promise. Okay. And I'll see you next week. God willing, and the creek don't rise. Ciao.